Hey guys, Stephanie here. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share. When Trump said he was going to drain the swamp, he meant it, and he's doing it. Americans, we voted for Trump because we want our freedom. We are overrun by bureaucrats, corporations, activists, and lobbies who all do the pay-to-play scheme. Nancy Pelosi said it herself. You don't pay, you don't play. Clinton the same way. Hunter Biden. And I mean, it's all pay to play. And with everything going around in this country right now, from fires to homelessness to drugs, all they focus on is impeachment. And then they take 2 weeks off, closed door meetings. This impeachment is unconstitutional. The Sixth Amendment gives you the right to face your accuser, which they're denying Trump. It's all to make people have doubt in their heads, and they're dragging it out to make us doubt ourselves and what we believe in. And in the meantime, all these crises that they create, well, think about it. You had the border crisis. They ignored it. Instead, they made it look like you're racist and you're a horrible person if you want to protect our borders. Okay? Gun crisis, which notice there's no mass shootings right now, but that's all we saw for how long? Every day, mass shootings, gun control, gun control, gun control. Now it's the homeless epidemic. Now they want rent control. Okay? Now, why are these things important? Okay, with the rent control, Gavin Newsom already started that in the state of California. But it only applies to certain districts, certain areas, that they can cap the rent. That being said, if you're a corporation, that doesn't apply to you. So are these like the corporations that donate to Democratic campaign funds? Because even Sylvester Turner here in Houston, Texas, had a closed door thing with Kelsey Siebold, ended up getting over $80,000 in the next 30 minutes, contributed to his campaign, and they get a contract. So when he said he's cleaning, up our country and draining the swamp, it's not just Democrats and Republicans. You have corrupt bureaucrats, regardless of what party they're on, but we are so heavily infiltrated with corruption, and our votes are being ignored. The people in California voted against rent control. So Gavin Newsom calls it a crisis and can order it against the voters' will. What does that do? It hurts realtors. It hurts people who flip houses and rent houses because they put a cap. Not only that, they're making it harder and harder and harder for people to get evicted. So meaning the landlord, if you don't pay your rent, you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're causing trouble, they basically have to pay for attorneys, court costs, court fees, plus pay the rent these people are not paying. The government does not have the right to tell you what you can do with your private property, how much rent you can charge and how you cannot. They do not have the right to infringe on your Second Amendment because of fearing you into thinking that you are in danger. What we're in danger from are the policies that created these messes. Rent control is not going to fix the homeless problem, okay? The misappropriate funding in these states and special interest groups, lobbyists, it's a two-tier system right now. If you're on one side, you can get away with it and you can do it. If you're on the other, you can't, okay? So even the NFL, even Comcast, major news outlets, you have all these people that are bought and paid off or coddled or feared into going with this narrative. Where is this narrative going? It's going into a war. We're going into a civil war. And people think if Trump's just gone, it's going to go away. No. Gavin Newsom already employed so many gun laws and restrictions because of the gun control crisis, right? Then the housing epidemic. Well, they had millions of dollars to fix that problem, but they chose not to. Instead, they allowed people to crap and sleep at the front door of private businesses to where they can't even open their doors because nobody wants to come into a business that has vagabonds outside and human feces, needles, all of that. So they're killing off small businesses, mom and pops. We have major corporations who can censor us, tell us what we can say, what we cannot say. how much rent we can charge, what kind of gun you can have, whether, why do you let somebody else tell you what you have to do? You are grown, you're an adult, you are free to think for yourself. And just because they have something that sounds good or it's to help people, in the end, Californians are now realizing that all these things that were meant to be a good thing is now stripping them of their basic constitutional and civil rights. Same with Sylvester Turner. He's corrupt. All of his donors are all big corporations that he gives contracts to. He gives a $95,000 internship to a friend, who knows. But the people in Houston, we voted for firefighters to get a pay raise. You know what he says? There's a crisis with funding. We can't do it. So our government officials are literally going against our voices, our votes, and canceling them out for how they feel, what they think, and what they deem a crisis and more important. That isn't right. And people, you should speak up about it, because over time, just like Bernie Sanders right now, calling for rent control of the entire country. Are you serious? But that only applies to certain people in certain zip codes. That's not for every single person. Ilhan Omar campaigning with Bernie. They all talk about morals. They're saying lock them up, lock them all up. Talking about us, conservatives, Trump supporters, people who just want their freedom and their rights. But they're corrupt. Look at all the crimes they commit. Look at Ilhan and her adultery and she's a fraud. She's committed so many crimes. Who is she to preach to you what's right and what's wrong? These people are riddled with deceit, with lies, crimes, real crimes against us. They're taking your taxpayer money and abusing it. And they don't give you the chance to say, hey, I don't want this. This is not right. And if you do, you're silenced, you're shadow banned. Basically, you're shut down. If somebody is aiming to shut you down that bad, just like right now, going to Trump's tax returns. This has been going on for years, okay? It's clear. They can't beat him. So the only way they can take their power and our freedom for a global agenda, Agenda 21, it's a real thing. Socialism is not fun. And for all you people supporting socialism, like AOC, Nancy Pelosi, you need to go stay in your own tent cities. How about that? Kamala, why don't you go dance through the fires riddling in your street? Y'all don't take care of your country. You don't take care of the state. You don't take care of your constituents. You take care of yourself, your lobbyists. You take care of the corporations and the people that donate to your campaign, pay to play. So that two-tier system is people who pay taxes to pay their bills, but we can't question it. Our votes are ignored, or they alter polls. People, don't you see it? And if you don't, I'm begging you, please, to just think outside the box and not think about Trump. Yeah, he's not perfect, but either are you. None of us are perfect. And if you look at the long line of things that all of these politicians claim, well, it's not there. If they had a crime to commit Trump on, they would have done it. They have nothing. Don't let them brainwash you. And also, it's messed up that Google and YouTube and all these corporations they're scrubbing the internet with facts. Like Sylvester Turner the FBI had to come in and investigate Prime Social poker game room for money laundering, stuff like that, because Mayor Turner was involved in scandals, and other people in Houston's government board, and the FBI has to investigate it now because the level of corruption, and nobody can be trusted. So don't let these people fool you. And Sylvester Turner only targeting urban blacks in Houston is disgusting too. Don't race bait. Stop using race as your platform. The only people dividing blacks and whites and every other race, religion, sex, gender is Democrats. We didn't have these problems till Trump came into office. Everything has been so blown up and spewed out just to create divide and hate and animosity. You have Antifa going to colleges and recruiting young kids. So why is Antifa going around recruiting all these kids to form this resistance, this movement? Well, think about it. There's a coup against our president, okay? And these people are caught, and their truth is coming out. You don't think maybe they're preparing for some kind of civil unrest? You got to wake up, because it's not just about Trump. I'm begging y'all, please share videos, spread your truth, and don't be afraid of what other people say, because the facts are facts. People cannot lie about the facts. They can make it look, they can reword it. Notice how Democrats never answer a yes or no. They never answer a yes or no question. They just tell a story afterwards. If somebody has to tell a story and they can't give you a yes or no answer, it's because they're lying. Anyways, guys, I'm out. Like, subscribe, and share. Bye.